Hey guys, it's Desiree with another video of Let's Be Honest. So this video is actually going to be like probably like a 3 or 4 parter. It's going to be more of a serious video. I feel like it's something that I really need to speak about, not to just get it off of my heart, but to talk about it from like a African American or person of color standpoint. So if you haven't read the title, this is basically the first part of me speaking about like me trying to commit suicide and how I came out of it. So I really don't want to even say I came out of it. It's more of like something that you deal with forever. I feel like it's, for me it was more so of an addiction, and I'll elaborate more on that throughout the video. So if you're ever dealing with that or know anyone who's dealing with that, just keep watching, see how I kind of broke through it, and I'll also give advice on what helped me get through it and what is currently helping me get through it. So yeah. So where do I even start? So I guess I'll start with the fact that this wasn't something that just popped up, right? This is something that kind of like built up over years and years and years. So when I was like 15-ish, I got to the point where I was tired of being bullied, like at school and even at home. I felt like I'm a sensitive person, I guess. But it still doesn't justify, it doesn't make my feelings any less. So, and I didn't know how to voice that to people. Like, I didn't know how to express, like, I don't like that you're doing this to me or whatever. And I wasn't doing anything to make myself feel like I'm a stronger person. So, I say all that to say this. So, basically, it kind of started like I didn't feel like I was being loved as a child growing up. So when I got to a certain age, like, you know, you get to middle school, high school, whatever, and you want validation, right? So for a lot of females, I don't know if it's like for males, because obviously I'm not male, but for females, if you don't find that validation at home, you're going to go looking for it somewhere else, right? So that led me to basically more so become like addicted to the attention of guys, right? And then afterwards, like, I was looking at my mom and I was like, wow, she's like very sensual and sexual, and she's, to me in my eyes, like she was beautiful, right? So I was like, I want to be that. I want to be what that is, right? All the guys want her, like, that's what I want to be. So I didn't know, me and my parents didn't have a conversation about sex and what led to that emotionally. I just knew that I wasn't supposed to do it. Nobody expressed necessarily why. Like, oh, you'll get pregnant or get a disease. It's pretty much it. It's so much more to that. So, anywho, started having sex at an early age, and that led to me becoming more so of, in my head, it was like, it made sense in my head at the time. So in my head, it was like, I wanted the power, right? So I really view myself as like almost like a female pimp, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like, more so like, if I sleep with this guy, it's not on my belt. Instead of, I'm going to be viewed as like a hoe. Because for men, the more women they sleep with, the more props they get. But women is different. So that led to, obviously people can't keep their mouth shut. Especially young guys. Let's just face it. So that led to, obviously, bullying. From males and females. More so males, I guess. And then, like, the bullying didn't make me stop. It wasn't like, okay, I don't like how this is affecting my life, so I'm gonna stop. Because then at that point, it was more so of like an addiction. someone looked at me or I looked at them, and it was more so of a game. Like, can I get them? Once I got them, I didn't want them anymore. Disposable, done. So anyway, fast forward. That's what led me to my first like cutting incident, stuff like that. And I wasn't cutting to die. It was like a plea for attention, a plea for help, I guess. Started going to therapy with my mom, and I felt like when I was going there, because they did check me into like a mental place for like, it was just not even 24 hours, just talk to somebody. Started on medication, stuff like that. And it's crazy because, you know, I don't remember a lot of this part of my life, right? So my mom would tell me like I was on medication, stuff like that. When all this kind of boiled over, like I don't remember being on medication. I don't remember, a lot of stuff. Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you like even all the people that I I couldn't tell you all the names of people because it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter, sadly. So anyway, and it became a point where it was like literally I would meet a grown man, and I was telling my child's father this few weeks ago. I was like, it got to a point where like I didn't realize that grown men were looking at me and grown men were sleeping with me. I would invite them to my house, or we might skip school, whatever. Parents might not be home, whatever the case. And grown men would have no issue. And I'm like 15-ish. So, wasn't a thing. Anywho, fast forward. Moved out of my mom's house because of drama there. My mom and dad's house. Couldn't deal with it anymore. And I went to go live with my aunt. Obviously I had lived with her before, but I kept living with her on and off throughout my life. So met my boyfriend when I was 16, moved out of her home, moved with him and his family. That was a very difficult thing because I wanted to be grown, but I was still a child, right? And he was used to long-term relationships, but not healthy ones. So it was me falling into this role of like wifey. I didn't know how to cook. I only worried about me. Like, it was so weird. And then my family is so different from his family. So dealing with all that was like the hardest thing, I think, one of the hardest things, because it's like I'm out from moving from my mom's house to my aunt's house to his house. It was different types of living and feeling like I wasn't good enough. And then our relationship issues along with, my relationship with his family. It was a lot. So, and then not even dealing with what I had dealt with, or what my problems before him came. So now I have this layer of problems and then this layer of problems, and I'm just stacking them and stacking them and stacking them, and I'm not expressing it to anybody. So while I was living there, I had plenty of suicide attempts, and nobody knew it but him, my boyfriend at the time. So I had taken pills. I had gotten a needle. It was like a needle for your vein, and I had health classes and stuff, so I knew how to go inside of my veins and stuff like that. And at one point, I was just like draining blood out in a cup. It was crazy. And so, and it was something that I feel like he should go to therapy for as well, or a group as well, because like, sorry, I get emotional. I didn't realize how it was affecting him as well. So, anyway, went to the hospital for some suicide attempt. I don't know. His family didn't even know. They wanted to send me away at that moment. Somehow I got out of it. I don't even know. I'm a good talker, I guess. And Started going back to therapy. Went there for like a few weeks, maybe a few months. Stopped. I think, and again, when you go into depression, it's like stuff gets so blurry. So I can't even remember if I had my son or not by that point. And so, anywho, we had our child. That was the hardest pregnancy for me. It was very hard. So anyway, dealt with that. Still haven't dealt with my other issues for myself. So, still haven't faced addiction that I've had, right? So, anywho, fast forward. Now, we're in Charlotte. A few years later, my son is like 4, whatever. We moved to Charlotte, fresh new start. Haven't fully forgiven my boyfriend for the stuff that he's done. I say I forgive, but have I really forgiven? Have not forgiven myself or even faced myself for the stuff that I've done to myself or my family. And I still have not forgiven my family for stuff that I feel like was done wrong to me. I haven't forgiven because I need answers for a lot of stuff, right? If y'all want to see a video about that, comment below. I'll do a video about that. So, that's where we're in Charlotte. I'm thinking life's gonna be anew. Stuff's gonna be different. He's not around, his distractions. We don't have other family members influencing our lives. We can be grown, right? And I feel like my insecurities, I don't know if it was my insecurities, my female intuition. At one point, I could not differentiate the two, right? So I didn't know if I'm being paranoid or if something's really happening, if something's really going down. I did not know. I just felt like, well, he's doing this, or this is how he acts when something is happening. I've been there before multiple times. I know something is happening. And I didn't know, right? I knew what I didn't like, and certain things like, why didn't you call me if you're going to be late coming home? Or, when I call you, why don't you pick up? Stuff like that. And it eats at your head, right? And you start going a little crazy. So, then it got to a point where my son would not tell me that he loved me. Like, he would not say it. And I know I'm a good mom. I know that for a fact. I will give myself that. And I don't live a perfect life, but I had a good life. I have a great apartment. I live in a great neighborhood. We were making money. Like, stuff was pretty good for the most part, except for I just felt like stuff was up. And I could not put my finger on it. So my son, he wouldn't tell me he loved me. He would tell his dad. He would tell everybody else in the world, but me. I'm like, I'm your mom. I gave you life. Like, I'm confused. And it would really, really get to me. Like, he would tell people good night, I love you. Would not say it to me. Would walk off and go to bed. So that is something that kind of took a nick at me. So this is just the first part. I'm going to probably make the second part either later on today or tomorrow. But this is just part 1. So if you're interested, the second part is going to be where it kind of really started going downhill. What were the first signs? What were the first steps of trying to get better? It gets deep. This is like the first layers. So just watch, like, comment, subscribe. Just let me know. And let's just be honest. If you're dealing with this, someone who has, let me know. And I'll reach out. I'll talk back. So, yeah. Follow me also on my Instagram, guys. So, I'll also comment on that as well on Instagram. So, you're going to send me a DM, personal message. If you just don't want to have it put out there, if it's something you're dealing with privately, let me know. And I'll try to give you my best advice. My Instagram is RazzleDazzle3. It's 1 Z in both of those. So yeah. Let's be honest, guys.